L word? The L word, bro? I know you just didn't say that.
I know it's only been a few weeks, but this girl, it's like,
Lust. When you said the L word, you meant lust, right?
it's serious, Granger.
Yeah, so's cancer. Ever hear of chemotherapy?
Hey, man, you can't tell me Annie's not great.
And you can't tell me she is.
I told you, with a girl like her, you gotta take that stuff real slow.
Miss me?
More than you know.
So, Russ, what's the occasion?
Didn't know there needed to be one.
His roommate's out of town.
Ah, so you have the place all to yourself. Do you want me to introduce you to a nice girl who's looking for a relationship?
How about a not-so-nice girl looking to skip marriage and go straight to the honeymoon?
Hey. Hey, girl.
Hey, Annie, why don't you introduce us to your friend?
You took the words right out of my mouth. Another satisfied customer.
You can say that again.
And I would do it again, too, if I didn't have a bio test in a few hours. So, if you'll give me my $200, I'm off to Cram.
You're a hooker?
Yeah, what'd you think? I fell instantly in love with you?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Oh my God, you're... Wait a second. Don't tell me your friend Bobby's.
Okay, I won't.
I don't believe it. Annie's dating a cop.
Wait. You're saying Bobby's dating a hooker?
Trisha? She never leaves the door unlocked.
Maybe she went out. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Trisha. What did you do?
Isn't Kalamazoo near Grand Rapids?
Toughest volleyball game I ever played was against them in the state finals.
Why don't you wait outside?
How long have they lived together?
Couple years.
Annie, have any idea why Trisha might have jumped?
We don't know that she jumped, TC.
Well, let's not go calling your studly boyfriend an homicide yet either, huh?
Trisha Garrison was pre-med and struggling. and unfortunately, her financial aid was based on maintaining a decent GPA.
Financial aid? She must have a rich boyfriend.
No time. She was too focused on schoolwork.
Looks more like she was struggling with expensive taste than organic chemistry.
So this girl, Jo, she assumed you knew she was a pro, right?
Yeah, and then Bobby was one of Annie's tricks.
You're gonna have to tell him.
I just can't believe it. Annie seems so pure.
Smart marketing. Fresh face co-ed makes every John feel like it's her first time.
Yeah, well, Bobby's gonna be crushed.
So how much does a guy get for donating $200 to a girl's college education?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, supposing you did have to pay, was it worth it?
Every last penny.
Raising this baby out of wedlock, the way things are between us now, would be like being divorced without ever having been married.
What if we tried to patch things up? You know, it wasn't too long ago we said we loved each other.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too long ago I said I'm pregnant and you said I'm out of here. Doug, you didn't call for a month.
Just give me a little time. I'll show you we can make this work.
That all night and I'm still not convinced.
So if I disappear now like you're asking, what are you gonna tell this kid when it asks about its daddy?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Now, who the hell are you and what are you doing here?
I can't believe she's gone.
Yeah, Annie's taking it pretty hard. She and Trisha have been real tight since the first day of freshman year.
So I guess this would be a bad time to dump her, huh?
Dump who?
You know when you got something ugly to say, and no matter how you dress it up, it still comes out ugly?
What are you babbling about?
Bobby, your sweet, innocent girlfriend, is a hooker.
All I have left of her are these old pictures. I just wanted something more. Anything of hers.
So instead of trying to explain that, you assault me. Not real smart, Keith.
I have a record. Grand Theft Auto back in Michigan. I didn't think you'd believe me.
So you said Trisha changed since she moved here. How?
Well, first she stopped letting me visit, and lately when I talked to her, especially about getting married, she just seemed harder and colder, and that's what scared me. Trisha had some pretty whacked out stuff happen to her growing up.
What kind of whacked out stuff?
Twisted family things. And I guess that's why she started seeing a shrink. I can't believe, I always thought I'd be the one to fix her.
It just doesn't make sense. How does a starving student afford a computer worth more than your car?
No, what doesn't make sense, Officer Kelly, is you taking that computer from the crime scene.
The operative word being crime, and someone committed one against this girl.
She sees a shrink 2 to 3 times a week. She has problems. Thank you.
That's half the population of LA. You don't see them leaping off balconies and landing a few feet from the building.
5 feet. Could have still been a jump.
Or a dead fall.
Man, you are really jonesing for a homicide investigation, aren't you?
What I am jonesing for is the truth about what happened to a beautiful 20-year-old girl.
The truth is a depressed pre-med student took a 7-story jump to her death. It's all in the coroner's report, which you should have considered reading before you went sniffing around a crime scene without backup, not to mention stealing evidence.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just curious, when you guys fight, does it translate to heat between the sheets or a blanket on the couch?
You must have drove your parents crazy.
I didn't have parents, just a woman who gave birth to me.
No father?
Well, there was this constant parade of losers, you know, different faces, but basically the same guy. Now that we bonded, you want to know about this computer?
You got something?
Yeah, a couple of computer geeks who are dying to do me a favor, which I'm gonna need since without a password, we can't even get to first base. Ooh, nice leather. Well, it looks like Tricia won't be making this afternoon's group therapy session.
How'd you like to go undercover?
Look, Officer Kelly, I've spent a lot of time with Tricia over the last 2 years, and I'd love to help you, but I can't.
What good is doctor-patient privilege when the patient's dead?
Well, unfortunately, suicide's fairly consistent with the psychological profile.
With what? Girls that have been sexually abused? Did a check on your support group.
Believe me, no one is going to lose more sleep over this than I am. Legally, my hands are tied. You should know that.
Well, can you at least tell me if there are any men she might have been having trouble with?
Look, I have your card. If there's anything I can think of, I'll call you.
Thanks for your time.
Sure.
You're upset because I didn't tell you.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, I'm upset because the girl I've been seeing is...
I'm still the same girl, Bobby. The only difference is now you know how I pay my tuition.
You've got to be kidding me, right? You're gonna try and make this my problem?
It's certainly not mine.
You sell your body.
My body, my choice. But my body is all they get.
Oh, and that's supposed to make me feel better?
I really care about you, Bobby. I want this to work. I think it can. I can separate business from pleasure. Please believe me.
I want to. But what if I can't?
Then I'll cry. And you'll get pissed off and you'll complain about me to your friends while you get drunk in some bar. And life will go on. It's your choice.
Let her go, Bobby. You and I have to talk.
The lieutenant knows, Chris knows. How long do you think before Internal Affairs knows?
I think Annie's worth risking.
What, your badge? And your sanity?
So you don't think I should show a little understanding for what she's been through?
She obviously didn't expect you to, otherwise she would have told you about the little support group she belongs to.
Oh, come on, cut her a break, Russ. You think it's easy for her to talk about that kind of stuff with me?
Whatever. She's a player and a liar. You need to kick that trash at the curb, brother.
Oh, and all the girls you've slept with have been virgins.
Let me ask you this. After you've saved her soul, after you learn to deal with wondering that if every man that says hello to her has seen her naked, look 5, 10 years down the road to your kids. How are you going to answer when they ask how mommy and daddy met? Or when someone John tracks her down and starts calling the house? That won't happen. What are you going to tell your daughter when she asks, what's a hooker, Daddy? Even if she quits this minute, she's always going to be damaged goods. Bobby, walk away. I think I'm in love with her. Then don't walk. Run.
That's a pretty extreme concept. I mean, don't you still feel like...
What? Used? I just feel like we have to get over this whole neurotic body thing and see the package for what it is.
And that is?
A reusable commodity. A means to an end.
That body's brought you a lot of pain.
It's not a woman's body that brings the pain. It's the abuser that brings the pain.
Hey, this body's done me a lot of good. Now I know how to use it to get what I want.
And what do you want?
Everything.
Oh, all right. Thanks for coming, Annie. Look, I've been doing a lot of thinking.
I'm gonna be late for class, Bobby.
And I realized that everyone has things in their past that they'd do differently if they could. And I'm willing to just deal today forward. I mean, it's not as if I expected you to have been a virgin or...
I already told you I have no intention of changing my life.
Listen to me. You have to quit. What you're doing has consequences.
Why? You gonna turn me in?
No, I'm not just talking legally, Annie. Whether you know it or just won't admit it to yourself or anyone else, this has got to be eating you up inside.
And what if it isn't?
Don't you want to live an honest life?
What I do is extremely honest.
And what about Trisha? Huh? How happy was she?
I gotta go.
Wait.
You're hurting me.
Well, someone may have hurt Trisha a lot worse, so don't tell me this honest work you do doesn't have risks.
You trying to scare me?
No. Annie, I'm trying to help you.
No, you're trying to redeem me.
I'm still running some searches, but aside from a pathetic bank account with very little activity, Trisha was strictly cash and carry.
So nothing to lead us to the pimp or the clientele.
You want to see me?
Yes, I did. Please tell me why I'm getting calls from the coroner's office about you harassing one of his men over the Trisha Garrison report.
Because his work was half-assed.
I read the report, Chris.
Well, you must not have looked at it very carefully, because I'm sure you would have noticed that even though she landed on her left side, there was fresh hemorrhage to the right hand and cheek. Both injuries were pre-mortem.
Well, maybe she hit somebody and they hit her back.
And there was hardly any bleeding, which is pretty strange unless her heart stopped beating before she
Look, Chris, I can accept you questioning how I handle an investigation.
It might just be my opinion, but I'm still entitled to it.
But as your lieutenant, I am entitled to my officers going through me if they have issues with other departments.
And I'm aware of that. And every time I try to go through you, you block my way.
Excuse me a second.
Come on, TC. Don't you find it odd that a suicide victim has skin and blood underneath their fingernails?
I'm not saying we ignore that, but there is evidence of sexual intercourse.
I'm really busy right now, Doug.
Whatever gave you the idea that you could control everybody else's life?
I'm not. I'm just trying to control mine.
Well, I've hired a lawyer, Cory.
What?
I want to know my child, and I'll pay whatever it costs to make that happen.
You do that, and you're not the only one paying.
You started this, not me, but trust me, I won't stop until it's finished.
Mind lowering your voice a little bit?
Why, you don't want your co-workers to hear that you won't let me know our child?
Is that why you brought me here, to explain my problems to me?
No, I called you in here because although I thought you came on a little strong today, obviously you were nervous, I think you have a solution that you have not yet fully realized.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but you have my attention.
I'm proposing a radical form of therapy that turns sex into something empowering, not victimizing.
I already told you I'm not a victim.
Well, that's mainly because you've achieved such a high level of emotional detachment that you can use your commodity to get what you want. But I can offer you something further. Make it more organized, protected, and certainly much more financially rewarding.
You pimp your patients?
I provide my girls with a safe way towards economic and spiritual independence.
What's your cut?
Personal satisfaction. All of these men are referrals. They pay a small fee, it covers a background check, and they get a passcode to the website.
And this is your way of helping us?
Monica, women like us need relationships that transcend the physical.
Women like us?
Well, let's just say that my father was a friendly drunk who had a lot of friends that he liked to share with.
The only reason she's trusting me so soon is because one of Trisha's wealthy regulars was hoping to get some action tonight. Well, apparently, I'm right up his alley.
Look, Monica, we're gonna have to hold off on the pandering bust, but...
You're kidding. After I made myself look like a complete slut in front of all those girls?
we still need you on the inside, and hopefully we'll learn more from this client of Trish's. But the DA has asked us to shift the focus of our investigation.
Since when?
Since this became...
A homicide?
And I didn't even say I told you so.
I'm proud of you.
Good. I'll drink, you drive.
Alrighty then.
Price you pay for being pregnant.
Price you pay for being married.
Oh. What?
Chris.
Cory? What is it?
Something's wrong.
Are you okay? Cory?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Chris,
Cory!
Chris, it hurts.
Oh my God.
really weak.
My baby's dead, right? What was it? I know you know, Chris.
It doesn't matter, Cory.
Please. Please, I want to know about my baby.
It was a girl.
You are so breathtaking and you don't even know it.
I get by.
Oh, you know you attract men, but not for the reasons you might think.
When's the last time you saw Trisha?
2 weeks ago, before I left town. Couldn't wait to see her again tonight until Alicia told me. I wanted to cancel, but Alicia spoke so highly of you. She thought a little time together might be just what you and I both needed. I also know that you're new at this.
And I know you're a busy man who's pressed for time, so why don't we just move on?
This isn't your payment. It's a gift.
Oh, I can't accept this.
You know how seeing that made you feel? Well, that's a feeling you gave me when I walked in this room and saw you.
I think you should pay.
In a minute.
You know, where I'm from, there's no such thing as a free sample. So what do you want?
I want the passion we both deserve. I want to feel your body against mine. Can you give me that?
Well, you know, I think I can give you that. And more. You're under arrest. And I'm not the whore you thought I was.
Of course you are. One day I hope you trust someone enough to let that wall down, Monica. It's the only way to get rid of the loneliness. Trust me.
And if you give us a password into the website and a referral from Alicia's operation, maybe we'll make this easy on you.
What the hell took you so long? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
So the customer's got to go to this screen, type in his personal ID code so the girl can access his file, view the guy's info, you know, fetish, fantasy, medical conditions.
And the girls are contacted via email.
Which in Trish's case has been erased.
Along with all the records of the Johns that have recently ordered her.
You guys ready for some more weirdness? The prince came back from Trish and Annie's place and we found a set belonging to a Janelle Reed. She was convicted for prostitution in 1990, and her prints were all over Trish's computer.
I can't believe I missed this. Look what she's wearing.
Looks like underwear to me.
It's not lingerie. It's a shirt that is supposed to be worn over this bodysuit. And according to this, she had some pretty rough sex earlier that night. So, the question is?
How rough?
Am I missing something here?
Phenomenon of the male attacker. Woman dies with her clothes off. He screws up trying to put them back on.
But whoever this guy is, we don't know if things just got out of hand or if he actually meant to.
Murder her. Trisha was murdered? Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Someone killed her, threw her from the building, trying to make it look like a suicide.
But you already knew that, didn't you, Keith?
Oh, I can't believe how did that?
She was strangled.
During sex. You loved her. And she not only left you to go to some big city school, she was giving her affections to anyone who could afford the ride.
No, I don't even know what you're talking.
Stop lying. Your prints were on Trisha's computer, plus someone erased her email. Who else could have done it?
If you could prove anything, I'd be under arrest. Now, it is true I've used Trisha's computer, but I don't know anything about her email.
Come on, Annie, just admit it. You're trying to get rid of the evidence.
Evidence of what? You can't think. I loved her.
She was my best friend.
So you shared things?
Like what?
T-shirts, makeup, clients, Or how about all-American boyfriends from back home?
What the hell are you talking about?
Don't act naive, Annie. It doesn't suit you. Although you sure have Bobby fooled.
So that's what this is all about. You don't approve of me.
Of course I don't. He's my good friend and you're a $200 hoe.
You know, this is starting to sound more like an interrogation than an interview. Maybe I
should have a lawyer.
Won't be necessary. Isn't that right, Granger?
Yes, sir. I told her she's free to go anytime.
Trish's ex-boyfriend, Keith. You have a bad temper?
I told you I wasn't even in LA yet. I was still driving here.
And you still haven't told me why.
She hadn't been returning my phone calls, and I was concerned.
Oh, stop. Just stop. She told you all that garbage about her family when you were dating in high school. So you thought you were being really understanding when she said she wasn't ready to have sex yet. You thought you were being such a great guy. And then look what happens. She comes out here. And what does she become? Your high school sweetheart becomes the campus whore.
She was sweet. She was innocent.
So you got on your motorcycle and you drove out here on a mission. Because you know why? Because if you couldn't have her, no one else could. Aren't you sick of the lies? I know I am.
She told me she was just an escort. She swore to me she wasn't doing anything more. Oh, God. Oh, my God. How can I not see?
I've never seen this person before in my life.
So the name Janelle Reed doesn't ring a bell?
No. I'm sorry, but I have class in 20 minutes.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Annie.
There's something really wrong with her not even asking who Reed is.
You're right, but we can't lock her up for it.
Yeah. How about for what she's done to Bobby?
So we're narrowing it down.
To who? The John she was with that night?
You know, you really don't need to hear about this right now.
Come on, it'll keep my mind off my own nightmare. I can't help but think about her, Chris. You know, what she might have been like. I'd even started coming up with names. You want to hear them?
Cory, don't.
No, seriously. I mean, you guys could use them if you want, since I won't be able to.
You don't know that.
You heard what the doctor said. Highly unlikely. Please, just let me feel sorry for myself.
Okay if I come in?
You told him. After everything he's put me through?
Cory, he lost that baby too.
You know, it's okay to act like you like this.
Not when you're not paying for it.
That's when you should like it the most.
Do I really have to explain myself to you? Or is it just small talk to avoid a potentially awkward situation?
What situation would that be?
I don't know, maybe being alone in a hotel room with me?
That isn't what this is, Monica. You're the bait, I'm the backup, and despite your efforts, I'm not the least bit uncomfortable.
What makes you think I want you to be uncomfortable around me?
Frankly, Harper, I'm still trying to figure you out.
Keep trying.
I plan to. Only have a feeling it'll be futile.
And what makes you say that?
You're not one of those people who's just hard on the outside.
I think I'll take that as a compliment.
Don't. It's pretty sad. So you're not just defending yourself from what's around you, but also from what's inside. And if it's so painful and buried that deep, I'll certainly never get to it.
And probably no one ever will. But whatever else this lifestyle of yours is doing, sure as hell ain't making you happy.
Listen, officer. You tricked me into coming here. But understand this. No more freebies.
You understand this. If I'm not paying for it, you're not committing a crime. Yeah, Annie ain't having a thing with Trisha's old boyfriend from the boonies, is she?
You gotta be joking. He was like family.
the relationship you girls in that group have with your families are... I'm sorry.
What for? You're entitled to your own opinion, no matter how far off base it is. And I, as your subordinate, am obligated to listen. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
You're the new client Annie was supposed to have tonight?
Where is she, Monica?
With another John.
What other John?
Look, I don't know. Alicia told me to switch. She said Annie was better suited for another guy.
We'll have to talk to her.
No, you have to go.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. False alarm, maid service.
Annie's got my buddy so screwed up, I gotta make sure she's not involved with anything that, well, worse than whatever you want to call what you do.
Gee, I didn't know there was anything worse. Oh, except murder, maybe.
Joe, Trisha didn't commit suicide. And if it wasn't her small-town boy, it was the John she was with that night. You know who that is?
His code name's Rough Rider. I had him once, and once was enough.
Our killer's name is Rough Rider? That's the creep that originally ordered me tonight?
The one Alicia gave to someone else?
Where did he say he was meeting you?
I was supposed to suggest the hotel.
All right, look. Let's get a copy of this sketch out to all the divisions. We'll divide up the hotels.
Try the sand dollar.
Police, on your feet.
Well, we've had our first arousal-related death, or should I say homicide.
Lyle Pruitt, a.k.a. Rough Rider, died of a coronary arrest during pretty active sex. And the patch on his chest was nitroglycerin.
So he had a heart problem.
And a whole bottle of arousate in his system, which is pretty good for your sex life, but potentially lethal for guys with bad tickers.
Either he was crazy enough to risk his life for one good roll,
or someone killed him.
We sure he's the guy who killed Trisha?
His DNA matches the skin and blood underneath Trisha's fingernails and are consistent with the scratches found on his back, probably from her struggle.
And his prints match one of the sets found at Annie and Trisha's apartment.
Then two questions remain, but unfortunately only one can be answered. Why'd Lyle Pruitt kill Trisha? And who killed Lyle Pruitt?
Monica?
Is there something wrong?
Actually, I have a migraine. I was wondering if you had...
Oh, I'd be happy to write you a prescription.
Thanks. I just realized now that you were a psychiatrist and not just a therapist.
Well, I usually treat the emotions, but occasionally it's nice to be able to treat the body as well. Is there something else wrong?
Well, I don't want to worry you, but that new guy last night, it was a little rough.
Then, that will be the last time that you or any of the other girls will see him again.
Maybe I'm just overreacting.
If he scared you, then that's all I need to know. You know, once I doubted my own instincts and it cost me my face.
Somebody hurt you?
I put my way through college and med school the same way you are right now.
You were a pro?
Yeah, you should have seen me back then, before him. Each time he got a little rougher, a little more unhinged, and he always apologized. Sometimes he felt so bad, I actually felt sorry for him.
Sounds like my first stepfather.
He was very generous, so I kept on seeing him until one day he literally rearranged my face. Thank God for plastic surgery. So if anyone ever hurts any one of my girls, they will have to be punished. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Cory, what the hell are you doing?
I had to get some air.
Now, you have to take it easy. You heard what the doctor said.
You know I don't know how to do that, Doug.
Well, maybe if you'd have learned, we wouldn't be going through what we're going through.
My doctor said I could remain on active duty for the first trimester.
Now, why take the chance? Was our baby's life worth it?
You know what the doctor said would be harmful to my fetus? Stress. And I was fine until you came back in the picture.
Give me a break. You apprehended a suspect earlier that day that put up a fight.
Who told you that?
Are you saying that had nothing to do with it?
Doug, I saved a life.
And lost another. Just once, would it have been so terrible to not have to do everything the boys do?
Lieutenant, here it is, the Rough Rider file on Alicia's website. It clearly shows he has a history of heart problems.
Wears a nitroglycerin patch and carries pills to be administered in case of an emergency. Alicia Alper had a pretty good suspicion what would happen to Lyle Pruitt if she gave him too much arouse aid.
Along with too much booty, turned out to be more than his heart could stand. Literally.
In light of her own history as a victim and Trish's death, I'd say we have sufficient motive.
We've got more than that. The prints we took off the prescription she wrote matched the one in Trish's apartment and in Rough Rider's hotel room. Alicia is Janelle Reed. And guess who wrote herself a prescription for $300 worth of Arazay just 2 days ago? One more thing. Annie's prints were also found in Pruitt's hotel room.
Let's go.
One PB1 to one PB6.
This is one PB6, copy TC.
We've got the goods on Alicia Alper for the 187, so we're headed to Pacific View Student Center. We'll cover the front.
Copy that, we'll circle around.
I'm sorry, Alicia, but you're gonna have to cancel your therapy session for today.
Can I help you, officers?
Alicia Alper, you're under arrest for...
Got a problem, Lieutenant.
What kind of problem?
Step aside, Lieutenant. Let her go, Keith. She's innocent. None of these sluts are innocent. Patricia was until they got inside her head with all their twisted crap.
What happened to Trisha isn't Annie's fault.
You're right. It's her.
Keith, we can talk all you want. We don't need the gun.
Your talk is more dangerous than this gun. You're the reason why my Trisha's dead.
Keith, you couldn't fix Trish.
Shut up! I knew it wouldn't have been easy. I knew it would have taken time, but I loved her. I loved her enough to undo the damage. Now back up! Someone has to pay. Someone will pay.
Yeah, but not you, Keith. Believe me, you couldn't save her. Because she didn't want to be saved. Probably the last good thing in her life. Look, Annie, if your prints were in that hotel room because you were there another time, or...
I heard what you said to Keith. You know you can't save me, Bobby.
But if Alicia made you do something, then...
Alicia has been nothing but good to me. If it's anyone who saved me, it's been her.
I suppose you want to finish what you started.
I'm sorry, Alicia. I know what you were trying to do.
And I know that someday you'll figure out what happened with your stepfather.
Why are you doing this?
Annie, stay out of this.
Janelle Reed, a.k.a. Alicia Alper, you're under arrest for the murder of Lyle Pruitt, also known as Rough Rider, and for charges of pandering.
You have no grounds. Alicia's our therapist, nothing more.
And she definitely didn't kill Lyle Pruitt.
Because I did.
Annie, honey, don't.
She's right. It's not worth trying to cover for me when everyone else here knows I'm the one who did it.
If you're going to arrest the killer, then I'm the one you should be arresting.
No, me.
No, I'm the one.
No, I did it.
I did it.
No, I'm the one.
Arrest No, I'm the one.
Arrest me. I did it.
No, I did it.
So did you do it?
Yeah, we both did. Never could have worked.
Well, if it makes you any happier, the DA's gonna prosecute Alicia for the Rough Rider homicide.
Despite all those girls trying to take the rap for her, huh?
Yep, she's even going down for the pandering charges.
Doesn't really matter, though. With or without her, they'll keep doing what they've been doing.
Look, I know Annie broke your heart, but those girls were probably worse off before they had Alicia's.
Radical therapy? Please. Do you know they actually published her insanity in some psychiatric journal?
Look, I've been around sexual abuse victims, and it's real easy to let it destroy you. It'll make you weak.
And let me tell you, the one thing these girls didn't seem was weak.
So they trade sex for money. People trade sex for lots of things. Pricey dinners, jewelry, marriage. How many people do you know who kid themselves that it's love when it's actually infatuation? When that fades, you're trapped.
Now you sound like Annie.
Yeah, well, I guess I admire their honesty. You know, there's a reason why it's the world's oldest profession. Supply and demand, my friend.
Well, I guess I'm just not as evolved as you, Harper.
No duh.
But I guess I can still let you buy me that beer. Come on. Oh, by the way, this came for you by messenger today when I was at the station.
Really?
What if he was right, Chris?
He wasn't.
What if my... I don't even know what to call it. What if it's responsible for...
It's not. You're not. Doctors don't even know why these things happen.
So you don't think I lost my baby trying to do the job just like a guy?
No, I don't.
So when it's your turn, when you and TC decide to get pregnant, how long before you ask to be put behind a desk?